WrestleMania happens this weekend in Los Angeles, California. Let's make our predictions. Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Wa2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. If you are brand new, welcome aboard. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you taking the time. If you're returning, welcome back. So, for the first time, I am going to do a video on WrestleMania. I really started doing this channel in May of last year, so this is my first chance to go into the WrestleMania card. Always a highlight of my year. I'm pretty excited for this particular year's weekend. So we got Saturday night and we've got Sunday night from SoFi Stadium in LA. So what we're going to do is go through every single match, break it down. I'm going to give you my predictions, and we're going to see how it goes. I got my old school WrestleMania 22 hat from Chicago, which I was at. That was the one, by the way, where Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin had the very famous submission match, the double turn. So there's a little shout out from my old stomping days in the Windy City. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the matches. I'm going to give you a little bonus here. We're going to talk the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which will happen Friday night on SmackDown. Now, here's the thing. Bobby Lashley is going to be in this Battle Royal. He was supposed to be wrestling Bray Wyatt. The last we've heard is that Bray Wyatt is dealing with some kind of a health concern. I think part of it is that the build wasn't exactly going very well. But supposedly there is a health issue of some kind with Bray. Certainly hope he's okay. But because of that, the angle, the storyline for the match was just killed dead, and Lashley has now been relegated to the Battle Royal. He doesn't even have a spot on the WrestleMania card on the whole weekend. It's pretty amazing to think about. Pretty unfortunate to think about. So I think Lashley goes on an absolute rampage. I think he is going to eliminate 6, 7, 8 guys in this match, and he is going to have this Battle Royal won, and he's going to have that trophy. Or so he thinks. This is going to be one of those little sneak jobs where a certain somebody is going to kind of go out of the ring, but not over the top rope, and then come out of nowhere and steal the win. And I predict that that individual who steals the win in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will be L.A. Knight. Yeah, I'm going to say L.A. Knight takes the Battle Royal. If not him, I'd go Bronsonreed. I really like Reed, but I'm going to go with L.A. Knight because you can't have a LA WrestleMania without LA Knight. You know how it goes. All right. Let's go to the actual shows. Now, there's a couple of four-way showcase tag team matches. We'll start with the men. You've got Braun Strowman, Rick O'Shea against the Street Profits, against the Alpha Academy, thank you, versus the Viking Raiders. So I think this is actually going to be a really entertaining match. I mean, I really like watching all four of these teams. Personally, I want Alpha Academy to get the win. I've always been a big Chad Gable guy, and I think he's really been one of the most underrated parts of Raw for the last year. Just excellent mechanic. He never seems to get a win, which is frustrating for me, but he's always there. So selfishly, I would like them to get the win. But I think whoever wins this match is really going to get elevated towards the tag team title picture. And to me, it makes sense for the Viking Raiders to get this win. I like this heel streak. They haven't really had a chance to get near the championship picture as heels. And I think it's going to make a lot of sense for them to win this match, which we'll get to a little bit later in the video. So give me the Viking Raiders. As far as the women's four-way tag team match, you've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi, versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. So, Chelsea and Sonya don't make any sense to me. They were just put together on Monday. I really wonder where Carmella is. You know, I like that pairing with Chelsea. It was only together about 2 weeks, but it really made sense, sort of that spoiled brat mentality. The two of them just work together, and to me, that's a tag team that could work for a while. It would really work. They're going to generate genuine heel heat. Chelsea and Sonya, no, it doesn't make sense to me. Natty and Shotzi, with all due respect, who cares? Personally, I want it to be Liv and Raquel. I really like the both of them. I don't think Ronda and Shayna need the win, but I think they're going to get it anyway. I guess, I just think for the marquee value, it just makes sense for them to get this win, just because I don't. There's not a whole lot of juice with the other three teams. They just feel like throw-togethers. They don't feel like real teams. Only Ronda and Shayna do. Okay, so that leads us to the 6 women's tag team match. Trishstratus, Lita, and Beckylynch against Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. I have been a little back and forth on this one. There have been rumors from a few people about Trish possibly turning heel and setting up a feud with Beckylynch. I think that could happen down the road, but I don't see it happening right now because I don't see how they're going to drag that out from April all the way to, say, SummerSlam in August. Because if you're going to do Trish versus Becky, you can't do this at Backlash. Okay, you can't do it at King/Queen of the Ring. To me, you got to put this on a marquee pay-per-view because it's a marquee caliber match. So to me, I think that Trish, Lita, and Becky get the win. It might be a little weird. There might be a little miscommunication, or I want a slow build. I don't want a sudden turn or anything like that. I don't see it happening at WrestleMania, but have it happen slowly. So down the road, the heel turn could happen. But for right now, I see Trish, Lita, and Becky winning, and I think this is going to lead to a breakup in the near future of Damage Control. Okay, Brock Lesnar versus Omos with MVP. Oh gosh, Brock. He's competed at WrestleMania recently against Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Goldberg, and now it's Omos, but doesn't count. Brock has actually lost 3 WrestleMania matches in a row. He hasn't won a WrestleMania match since 2019, actually. My hope is this goes 3 minutes. I hope Omos' entrance lasts longer than the actual match. But in all fairness, if Brock can hit an F5 clean, it's going to get a really good reaction. It's going to look cool. I'll say Brock wins, and the less said about that match, the better. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Both are great athletes. Logan Paul, in his limited time in the ring, has shown that he is more than capable. The guy's a heck of a talent. He really, really is. We all know what Seth does. I mean, I've been watching him since 2007, ever since he made his Ring of Honor debut in Chicago Ridge with Age of the Fall against the Briscoes. Seth doesn't need this win to me. I think this is going to be the first of several matches these two are going to have over time. I think Logan Paul wins on April Fool's Day on night 1, wins on his birthday by cheating, and he gets that first trademark singles win. I think Logan Paul could really use this win, and it's going to elevate him a little bit. So give me the win for Logan Paul in this one. Hell in a Cell match, you got Edge against Finn Balor, who will be the Demon for this particular match. This may be the most overlooked Hell in a Cell match ever. It just hasn't been getting a whole lot of attention as of late. I'm actually surprised the Demon is back. I mean, he felt like he was pretty much dead and buried after he lost to Roman Reigns, fell off the top rope, and that was it. But for him to come back in a heel role, to me, this just doesn't feel right. Edge has gotten the better of the Judgment Day ever since he came back at the Royal Rumble. I think the Demon needs this a little bit more than Edge does. I'm going to give Finn Balor the win. I'm a little bit hesitant on it. But, I just don't see how this would really benefit. Because if Edge wins this match, where is he going to go from there? I mean, I don't think he's going to be getting opportunities at the Undisputed Championship or anything like that. I feel like it's starting to wind down for him a little bit. I think it's more beneficial to Balor to win this one. So give me Finn Balor. All right, singles match. Okay, Reymysterio versus Dominikmysterio. Oh, this has been built so well. This is probably the second best story going on in WWE in the last 6 months outside of the Bloodline. This goes back to Clash of the Castle last fall when Dominic turned on his father. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of parallels to Bret Hart versus Owen Hart back in 1994, except you have father and son versus brother, but Ray refusing to fight his son until he was finally pushed over the line. Here's what I want to see. I expect a lot of very basic wrestling here, with Dominic taking a whole lot of powders, escaping to the outside of the ring. and just, talking a lot of trash at the crowd, talking a lot of trash at his father, and, looking for just sneak attacks, a lot of fingers to the eyes, rep breaking the two of them apart, Dom with a cheap shot. I expect a whole lot of that throughout the match. Rey will eventually have his big comeback, but I expect Dominic to have, 75 to 80% of the offense in this match. I'm going to say Dom wins, maybe by Judgment Day interference. Damian Priest has nothing to do on this card, so I think Damian should accompany Dom to the ring. And whether it's Priest interference, whether it's hooking the tights, putting his feet on the ropes for a roll-up, I definitely think Dom needs this win. Just like Owen beat Brett at WrestleMania in 94, but Brett still won the championship that night. Rey's still going into the Hall of Fame. Rey's already a winner this weekend in my mind. So I think Dom could use the win. So give me Dominik Mysterio to take this one. All right, now let's go on to the championship matches. So the first one will be the opener on night one, Austin Theory against John Cena for the United States Championship. I'm guessing this is an opening on night one because Cena's got a movie to shoot later on in the day, so he can pull a Brock Lesnar and get his butt out of there as quickly as he can. I really wish, I wish the United States title was not on the line in this case, because then there'd be a lot more uncertainty on who would win the match. But after the way Cena absolutely eviscerated this kid when they were in the ring together, saying he had no brains, no heart, no balls, that the people didn't care about him, Theory's got to win this match. I am no fan of Austin Theory. He may be the most annoying person in all of professional wrestling right now, but he's got to win this match. I hate to use the word burial, but if Theory loses this match to Cena and drops the title, it's going to do damage for his career, because if he loses the match, he's basically justifying everything that Cena said. So to me, he needs this win. What does Cena need it for? If he were to come out, Monday night on Raw as the U.S. champion, do his old U.S. Open challenge and drop it to somebody making their debut, whoever it might be. Yeah, it'd be a cool moment, but I think Theory needs the WrestleMania win, so I know I'm picking a lot of heels so far, but I think Theory wins this match. All right, this may be the match. This is probably my top 2 or 3 match that I'm most excited to watch. The triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. You've got Gunther, I'll probably always call him Walter, but Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. The expectations are high for this match. They should be. I think this is going to be the best Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania since '94, with the ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. Gunther is nearing 300 days as the IC champ. Personally, I'd love to see him break the Honky Tonk Man's record, which was 64 weeks. As Santino Marella pointed out many years ago when he would have the Honkameter every week. It was so good. But it would take till September to break it. So, I don't know. Here's the thing. This is the biggest question with Gunther. Do you want to see him extend this run with the Intercontinental Championship, or do you want to elevate him towards the world title picture now? You could do it either way. You could do it later this year, or you could do it next year. I'm cool with it, however they want to do it in this case. But I feel like it's getting to the point where Gunther, I would want him to lose it in a marquee spot. You can't do it at SummerSlam. You'd have to wait till Survivor Series, which to me is not as marquee as it used to be. Or do you push this all the way out to the Royal Rumble? I don't see that happening. It's a tough call. Gunther's had a heck of a run. The IC title run has lifted him to a great level. The Royal Rumble run that he had, when he made it from number 1 and was the last man eliminated, that's elevated him as well. I really hope Sheamus has his moment. I've always been a Sheamus fan since he debuted. He won me a lot of money when he won the Royal Rumble, so that's another reason why I like him. But no, he's won every championship in WWE except the Intercontinental title. Unless you want to count the Universal title. But he's been a WWE champion. He's made no secret that the Intercontinental title is the one championship he's always wanted but never had. So to me, I really hope that he is able to take it. I think it'd be a fantastic story. So I hope it's a feel-good moment and that Sheamus takes the victory. And here's the other thing. If you want to protect Gunther, you could do it in this spot. Sheamus could pin Drew and Gunther could complain he was never beaten. So to me, that makes almost even more sense to do it that way. All right, on to the ladies. So for the Raw Women's Championship, you've got Biancabelair defending against Asuka. The build-up to me has been very unimpressive. They did do a little bit better job this past Monday night on Raw, doing profiles on each one of the ladies individually, having their peers talk about why they're so good. They talked about, I tell you one thing I did like, they talked about Asuka's NXT Championship run when she was the title holder for 914 days. But I gotta tell you, when they're both in the ring, it feels as flat as a tortilla to me. You know, Asuka plays the mind game. She's got the mist coming out of her mouth like she's the great Muta. Bianca looks confused. They point to the WrestleMania sign. Rinse and repeat. So, to me, I don't think this is the time to take Bianca, to remove Bianca as champion. She has held the title for about a year. But to me, Asuka just doesn't have the juice that I think some of us thought she might have going into this match. Not her fault. To me, this is more on the build. Asuka is very talented, but I would keep Bianca champion for a little bit longer. As a matter of fact, I might start to slowly tweak her and make her a heel. We've never seen her as a heel in this company, and I think it could work to freshen her up and give her a whole new array of challengers to work with. So give me Bianca. All right, for the SmackDown Women's title, it's Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. The build for this one has been better in my mind. The babyface heel dynamic is a little funky here because, you know, you've got Charlotte, who's been portrayed as the babyface, coming out and in her promos talking about how she's the queen, how she's the star, how she always main events, she's held the championship 14 times, whereas Rhea is trying to battle her way up to establish herself as one of the cornerstones of the women's division. But now, I'm not a big Rhea fan. I respect her ability in the ring. She's just, to me, she's like Randy Savage. I respect what she could do. I just can't bring myself to root for her. All right, so there is a big difference. This is her time. I think that she needs to avenge her loss to Charlotte at WrestleMania 3 years ago. And this time they'll actually be able to wrestle in front of people because, you know, the previous WrestleMania when they wrestled together was in the Performance Center. So I'm going to say Rhea wins, becomes champion, and it is a clean sweep for the Judgment Day at WrestleMania. I say they go 3 for 3 this weekend. That leaves us with 2 to go. So for the Tag Team Championship, the Usos against Samizayn and Kevinowens. I can't freaking wait for this. I hope it main events night 1 of WrestleMania as opposed to one of the women's matches because it deserves it. You know, the Bloodline story has been masterful over the last 2 years, and especially the last year once Sami came into the picture. So, the Usos have been SmackDown Tag Team Champions since July 18th, 2021, and they've held the Unified Tag Team Championships since May 20th of 2022. So, they've been champions for a long time. As far as Owens and Zayn go, I mean, I've been a fan of these guys since 2007 when they debuted in Ring of Honor against, when they started wrestling the Briscoes. It seems to be a pattern there. The pop when they came back together a couple of weeks ago, it just showed you how much the fans genuinely love these two guys and want to see them connected together. Man, I wish I had been at that SmackDown as opposed to the one in Washington a couple of weeks prior to that. But in any event, it's amazing that they are yet to hold the tag team titles. They've been in this company for a while, but they've never held the tag team straps in WWE. It's time for that to change. I say that they win and end the Usos' streak as tag team champions. It's the only outcome that makes sense. They have to win this match. And then there was the main event. For the undisputed WWE Universal title, we've got Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, defending against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. You can make a great argument either way for either man winning this match. Cody's on a hot streak. He's got the pedigree. The fans are behind him. His merchandise is selling. He's got the backstory also. Roman has been Universal Champion since August 30th, 2020. As of Sunday night, that is going to be 944 days. This is probably the best run. This is the most legendary run, the longest run really, since Hulk Hogan back in the 1980s. He hasn't been pinned since 2019 by Baron Corbin, which that'll probably be the first thing on. That's probably the highlight of Corbin's career, that he was the only one to pin Reigns for 4 years. Here's my thing. If not now, when are you going to make the change? Are you going to do it at Backlash, at Saudi Arabia? One of the things that I've learned as a wrestling fan is you have to know when to make a title change, because if you wait too long, you run the risk of the impact not being as strong, of the connection not being as big, or it'll feel more stale, it'll feel more expected at some point. You have to know when to pull the switch. And another thing, Roman is reported to be taking a long break, an extended hiatus after he drops the championship. I think when the stakes are highest, the bloodline needs to go from having everything to losing everything. I already told you I think that the Usos are going to lose the tag team titles. I think that should happen night 1. I think night 2, Roman loses the championship. And I'm going to say Cody Rhodes becomes the new undisputed WWE champion. I think this is a guy you can build your company around for the foreseeable future. I think this is the time to lose it at WrestleMania for Roman. He's done an unbelievable job. I'm not as big into him hitting 1,000 days as champion as some people are. I think he's done all he can do. I guess my big thing is if he doesn't lose it to Cody, who's he going to lose it to? I feel like the only person he hasn't really feuded with is like Lashley. That's really about it. But for me, I think Cody makes sense. And I think that Sunday night, April 2nd, is the time to do it. So those are my predictions for WrestleMania. I want to hear what you have to say. Do you have any predictions? Anything you agree with me on, disagree with me on? Put them in the comments. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.